Because for those of you who do not know, Wade and I have the COVID and strep throat at the same time. So both of us have been diagnosed with COVID. He has been diagnosed with strep throat today, and I know I have it. I have the same symptoms, of course, as he does. I just didn't have time to wait around at the doctor because I had to work. So I got to go to the doctor in the morning so I can get some antibiotics for strep throat. So we are not feeling well, needless to say, but we feel better than we did.
Yeah, we really do.
You sound froggy now.
Yeah. Well,
I sounded that way this morning, didn't I?
Well, you're about a day ahead. You're a day ahead of me.
I think I gave it to him because he got it a day late, so I have to feel guilty. Oh, well.
Kind of joined at the hip, babe. You get
yes,
it? If you get it, I get it.
Although when we got it, my dad and I got it, but my mom and Mike didn't get it. They got it like 3 months later. So go figure.
Yeah. It's weird how one person in the household can get it and the other one won't.
Yeah. And what was so funny is we thought we couldn't get it because we thought, well, we must be immune to it because at one point, he worked at a grocery store and so did I. And so we were around hundreds and hundreds of people every day.
Yeah.
And so for us, we're just like, how did we not get it? And so we thought, man, we just must be immune to it. It must be something about the blonde hair or something. And then we were like, we got smacked with it.
I really wanted to blame it on the nutrition. That's what I really wanted to do.
You wanted to say we haven't got it because we healthy. Yeah.
It's got to be that protein powder.
It could be that Reese cup done tripped you up.
Possibly.
Well, we don't know how many people are going to come on. When I put information about, here comes Michael. When I put information inside the Facebook group, because it's a Zoom link, it really doesn't let people see it. So it's like I didn't even tell anybody at all. I was wasting my time. So anyways, so we are so glad to have you guys tonight. Michael, just to let you know, did you tell Michael already?
Yes, but he didn't know about strep.
We also have strep throat, Michael, so we got both. Strep and COVID. How nice is that?
That's good.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Actually, I don't feel too bad right now, which is good.
I texted Wade earlier, told him you guys are warriors. Warriors.
You got to push
being
through.
Sick and being on here.
I didn't know about the strep throat until just this afternoon, but my throat was just hurting really, really bad. And I'm thinking I don't think this is part of COVID. Maybe it is, but anyway, I went to urgent care and sure enough, I came up positive for strep throat also. So it's and
where have you been?
Huh?
I said, where have you been?
Oh, I hadn't been anywhere.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Lord.
We don't know where we got it. We think maybe his mom had it and we got it from her. She wasn't diagnosed with COVID, but she had a lot of the symptoms. And so, she took the test, but a lot of the tests are wrong. And so we were around her and maybe we got it from her. Maybe we got it from our granddaughter. We don't know. That her test was negative too, but she was really sick. About a week ago, we went to the hospital with her. So we could have picked it up even from the hospital. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've had it twice, and I'd rather have COVID than the flu.
Yeah.
I had a fever for 3 days. First day was the worst. 2 more days mild, and then it went away, and I was just kind of weak for about the rest of 5 more days. That's it. Dry cough. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wouldn't worry too much.
Yeah, we aren't that bad. I guess the strain in the beginning was probably a lot more different than it is now. It's kind of like a cold on steroids a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, kind of what mine was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, listen, guys. So Wade and I, we have worked all day, and in between working, we were at the doctor. And so we're really not prepared for a great Zoom call tonight, but we wanted to go ahead and have it. We're gearing up for our challenge. And, we thought we would come on here and talk a little bit about tips. And I know we kind of did tips last week, but before we do that, so if you can think of giving people some of your best tips, doesn't matter what it is, as far as food might go, or, maybe you found a dessert that you really like that you can fit into your program. Maybe it's built around protein or something like that. I wanted to share just a little bit about inflammation first. And, most of us have inflammation, and we don't really understand, most of us don't understand what it is. But inflammation basically is, it shows up in different ways. It shows up in arthritis. It shows up in autoimmune diseases. We get these things because of inflammation. Cancer can be caused by inflammation. Heart disease can be caused by inflammation. Those are the biggest killers in the United States, is heart disease and cancer, and type 2 diabetes can be caused by inflammation. I was like, really? All kinds of, like I said, all kinds of different joint diseases. And so I didn't know too much about inflammation, but I wanted to talk to you guys about it a little bit, because we can control a lot of inflammation. We really can. Our body can even attack our own organs because of things to do with inflammation. And it can affect our organs and everything. So it's a pretty scary thing. So if you haven't studied much on inflammation, it's a topic that I'm kind of really digging into. And there are foods that we can eat that help with inflammation, and there's foods that we eat that cause it, right? The ones that cause it would be right up there with white sugar and white flour. Okay. As you know, there's nothing limited on our program, because we're coming on here to change our diet, right? We're coming on here to get in a physical shape. But while we're getting in our best physical shape, why arrive at that goal looking good and being sick, So I want us to focus on that. While we do this, let's make sure that we focus on healthy foods. And by that, I mean, let's make sure that we're getting our omega-3s in. They're very important. Omega-3s are things like salmon, chia seeds, flax seeds. Make sure you get these in. If you don't like salmon or fatty fishes, things like that, or chia seed, flax seed, those types of healthy omega-3s, and there's lots more of them out there, then go take a omega-3 supplement, that really helps with inflammation, drives it down. Clean up your diet, take things out of your diet that come in boxes and cans and last a long time on the shelf. If it can sit on the shelf without refrigeration, then you probably shouldn't be eating it. That's things that cause issues in our body. Those types of food actually cause diseases. I talked about inflammation and how that whenever I couldn't lose all the weight, I didn't understand anything about inflammation. And I know very little still, really, relatively. But if you looked at my face, it just wasn't, I've only lost 40 to 45 pounds. It just wasn't that I had fat in my face. It was so funny is I remember pulling up to Daddy's one day, and I hadn't even got out of the car, and Dad goes, "Oh, you've put on weight." And you guys got to know my dad. My dad is just like that. He's like, "Oh, I see you've put on some weight." And I'm sitting there going, I looked at him and I cussed. I said, "Damn it, Daddy. I have not even got out of the car yet." I said, "I only gained 5 pounds." He goes, "You gain it like me. You've gained it all in your face." I'm like, "Oh my God." I want to punch my dad in the face. But me and my dad and my sister, some of my brothers, we gain 5 pounds. We get 3 pounds of face. I don't know what it is, but we do. And but you look at those pictures of me, I think it's inflammation, because my eyes were squinty. They were like, I have pretty decent sized eyes, and they were just almost closed at one point. And I'm like, what is wrong with my face? My cheeks are so big. They were pushing my eyes together or something. But I had a lot of inflammation, achy joints. Autoimmune diseases run in my family, between Crohn's and I don't even know how to say some of them, just all Hashimoto's, but that's just a few. There's all kinds of them in my family. And so inflammation actually can cause those type of diseases as well. And so, we got to clean up our diets to get rid of inflammation. That means we eat fruits and veggies, lean meats, take out all the processed food as much as possible. If we're eating 80% clean, the way that food was created, not in a manufacturing plant, but by God that grew on a tree or grew up in a field or something like that, and eat it as close to how it was, grown as possible. Those are the foods that are the best and the most nutritious for our body. Those are the foods that drive down inflammation, berries, all of those good things, instead of like crackers and Doritos and Reese Cups and Twix and chips and cupcakes, and those all drive up inflammation and they're very bad for us. So that was my tip on that today. I want you guys, if it concerns you, if you're dealing with anything like arthritis or anything in your body you can't quite understand, maybe you're achy all over, your joints hurt, start looking that up and start cleaning up your diet and see if that eventually helps you. And add in those good healthy foods, especially the omega-3s. They're really important. So that's all I wanted to talk to you guys about. Do you guys have anything like that you want to discuss, or any tips, things that have helped you along the way? Anything that you've done that you feel like maybe has helped your body heal or feel better?
Well, weightlifting also reduces inflammation too. So keeping up with the weights helps too.
You're right. Exercise is a very important part. I completely left it out. That's very good.
I have a question about the supplements. When you said if you couldn't eat the food to take a supplement, because I take fish oil almost every day as a supplement. I take 2 in the morning and I try to take 2 at night, because when I was 54, I went to the doctor because my joints were aching so bad I couldn't even burn my muscle out because my joints hurt so bad. And the doctor said, before I give you medicine, he said, I want you to try fish oil. So he said, try it for 30 days and then let me know what happens. And about, I think the 3rd week in, all of a sudden I realized I didn't have a joint pain anymore, like none.
Wow.
It was gone. And it was from taking 4 fish oils a day. So is the supplement as good as eating salmon, do you think? Or do you have any knowledge about that?
I never think that a supplement is as good. I never think, because the way food is created, you got to think in a fatty fish, there is more than just omega-3s. And sometimes all of those, there's nothing really that we can't use in things like salmon, I don't think, unless it were bones or something, our body's going to kick it out. But how things work together chemically is what you got to think of. So while fish oil in a pill is good, I would say that in the form of fish, like salmon, a fatty fish, or a chia seed or a flax seed, that the compounds are a little different. Maybe.
What about the days you don't eat fish?
The days you don't eat fish, take the supplement. Take the supplement if you need to. I'm totally not against the supplement, but if one is over the other, I would always prefer the food over the supplement.
I feel like a walking train wreck if I don't take it. So it's better if I take it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
absolutely.
It's an anti-inflammatory. That's what he told me.
Yes.
Yeah, when it comes to something like fish oil is, as far as a supplement goes, fish oil and whey protein are 2 completely different things. Okay. Now, when we talk about taking a supplement as for protein purposes, then we want you to get the majority of your protein from a meat. Just due to the fact of what I told you earlier. The protein powder is partially already broken down, and it doesn't stay in your system as long, so it doesn't keep your metabolism burning as long.
Okay.
Whereas the protein from a meat source has that metabolism burning because it's harder for it to break down. It takes it longer.
That's a slow protein.
So it's burning higher for a longer period of time. That's what I mean when I say supplement. Supplement to me is an addition.
Addition to food.
Correct.
Okay.
If you can get it in the food, do that. But things like veggies, we all of us are not eating. I don't know anybody that's eating enough veggies and fruit. I really don't. And so, there are supplements out there I'm just now hearing about. They may have been around for a long time, but supplements like pill form, veggies. They're basically dehydrated veggies and fruits in pill form. And they help with inflammation because, you know, a lot of us don't get, there's like 17 studies out there. And so this is stuff I'm looking into. Yeah, so I mean, to hear you say that just taking fish oil has helped your joints, I believe that
Big
because
time.
omega-3s are one of the biggest helpers in that because we get a lot of omega-6s. Okay, omega-6 we get in our diet just normally. Omega-3s comes from fish and things like that. Not a lot of us eat that. So what happens is we get an off balance. And when we get an off balance of the omega-6 as compared to omega-3, long story short, we get inflammation and it's bad. So we got to have a 1-to-1 ratio, I believe. And so taking those omega-3 kind of helps level all that out, helps with inflammation, if that makes sense. Just look it up. It's a little confusing, I know. But anyways, yes. So while we're there, I did think of something that I wanted to tell you guys, and I keep forgetting. As far as protein goes, our bodies can only break down about 30 grams of protein in about 2.5 hours. Any more than that, and our body kicks it out. And the reason I want to talk to you about that is this, because there are slow proteins and fast proteins. So in the past, I've had coaches tell me, well, you know, you shouldn't eat 6 ounces of meat because you're getting too much protein, your body's just going to kick it out. While that is true, that it's more than 30 grams of protein, it is a slow dissolving protein. If I were to eat red meat and I ate over 30 grams of red meat can sit in your tummy sometimes for up to 24 hours or more. Your body's got to break that down. So it's not a fast protein. Fast protein is something like Wade said, like the drink. And so whenever you drink a protein drink, you really should not drink over 30 grams in a protein drink. Okay, because your body is just going to spit it back out. Really, it's not going to use it. It's going to make waste of it because it can only take that. And you know, that protein shake will break down really fast in your body because it's almost basically completely pre-digested. Okay, now as for meat, that's a little meat and veggie protein. That's a little bit different story because your body has to actually break it down. It's not like it hits the chicken breast hits your tummy and your body goes, oh, they're over 30 grams of protein. Let me just kick this out. That doesn't happen. Your body has to break it down gradually. So when you're drinking a protein shake, guys, I want you to remember this. Don't get you 60 grams because your body isn't going to, it's really a waste. You know, take 30 grams at one point. And if you have to take another 30 grams of protein drink, take it at least 2.5 hours later, you know, or later in the day. But don't just take one protein shake with 60 grams of protein because you're not going to use it. Your body's just going to spit it out. Okay. All right. Anybody else have some tips? Let's talk about artificial sweeteners. Whoa. This is a touchy subject. Artificial sweeteners. What artificial sweeteners should I use or not use? Once again, I want to remind you things that come closest to the way that they were created are best. Man-made items, though they seem wonderful, are most of the time not the best. Okay, so we're in the situation of I like to have sweetener in my coffee, or I like to have a sweet every now and then. And if I can't have white sugar because of inflammation, right? But you can have a little sugar. It's not going to, you know, a little sugar is not going to hurt you. Just don't go overboard. Then what am I going to have, Allie? I'm going to tell you this. I've studied out your gut health, and you want to take care of your good gut microbiome, basically your gut bacteria that is in your colon and is your colon in that area is I think about 75 to 85% of your immune system. And these artificial sweeteners like Splenda, what are they? The pink one, the yellow one, the blue one.
Sweet and low.
NutraSweet stuff, Equal. All of those harm or kill your good gut bacteria, which means this, that they are killing your immune system. Okay. So that's a little scary to me. And the more we learn on this, the more I was like, holy crap, that's where our immune system is. It's killing our immune system. And so here's the thing. It's making us sick and causing diseases. So I was looking into it. And, what do we have then? Well, we could use things like honey. We can use monk fruit. Again, honey has calories. Monk fruit is a really good sweetener that you could use.
It's the closest thing to sugar that I've ever tasted.
Yeah, monk fruit is really, really good. Wade and I get, I believe in stevia, although there are some studies against stevia. Most of the studies that I have read are for stevia. Stevia is very natural. The taste of stevia, though, most times can be bitter, but they are making versions of stevia now that is not so bitter. One that Wade and I like is Whole Earth. I thought he grabbed it, but it's Whole Earth sweetener, and it's a monk fruit stevia mix. They do put erythritol in it, which is a man-made substance. It is a sugar alcohol, and so it does have erythritol in it. It's the best tasting sweetener that I've ever tasted. But monk fruit you can find plain monk fruit out there, and monk fruit is very, very good. So I suggest that you guys, if you're concerned about health, which I hope that you are, that you look into, this is backwards probably, sweeteners like stevia. There's one called green leaf stevia. I got used to it. And once you're used to it, you really don't taste that little bit of bitter that's in it. But I would suggest you guys sweeten with something like this. Now, I'm going to tell you, this is Whole Earth monk fruit stevia blend, but it has erythritol. I will tell you.
Is that just in the grocery store?
It is a regular grocery store. Comes in a box, and they also have containers of it. You can spoon it out. But I will tell you this, at first, this one's not too bad because it tastes great. But at first you might get some that you're like, oh, but I will tell you this, it's one of those things where as you use it, it's like your taste change, and you taste the sweet and not the other, if that makes sense. Eventually it's weird, but after a while, it's like when you use Splenda for a while, you're like, oh, okay, I could do this. This doesn't bother me at all. I did the same thing with the blue pack or the pink packs.
Sweet
and low. I used to have sweet and low every day. I loved it until I started having Wade and I both started having nerve issues in our thumb, and it was so weird. Same thumb, same time, and for months, right? We couldn't feel this area of our hand right here, and it was very tingly. And we had been using a lot of Sweet and Low, and I started looking it up because I heard that it causes different issues with nerves, and we were having nerve issues. This one was in the same hand and so weird at the same time. And I think mine might have started before yours. Like always, I get it before him. And we took that out of our life. And do you know, in about a month or so, we had it for months and months and months. In about a month or so after our body kicked all that out, that started going away. But it took time to heal. Actually, mine's completely healed now. Is yours? No? So the nerves, it damages your nerves, equal does. And we were having a lot of it. And it wasn't good for us. So my ex-husband used to drink a lot of Diet Coke at one time.
Monster.
Yeah, but the Monster drinks had nothing to do with it. He drinks a lot of Monster drinks. He drinks very unhealthy stuff. But I want to tell you what happened was he started getting a lot of knee pain. He did not associate it with Diet Coke. I don't know how many he had a day, maybe 4 to 6 Diet Cokes a day. Okay, he worked out in the heat, and it was just chug that, not water, and he liked the caffeine. So that's what he had. He had extreme knee pain, which he thought was arthritis. And he thought, oh God, I don't know. He used to climb telephone poles. He's a utility worker. I can't think what it is. But anyway, yeah, I can't remember his title. But anyway, so yeah, all this joint pain. And he went to the doctor, and the doctor said, tell me, he said, I don't know if it's arthritis. It could be. You don't have a family history of it, but tell me a little bit about your life. And he's what do you eat? What do you drink? Do you eat healthy? What kind of, he went into his whole diet. And he said, I drink a lot of Diet Cokes. I don't drink much water. And the doctor said, I want you to stop Diet Coke. Within a couple months, all of his knee pain was completely gone. So much so that an addict of Diet Coke, he won't touch the stuff. So I'm telling you, those kind of sweeteners, that are in those things can really harm our bodies, and we don't understand all of that yet. But if you look up the studies on that as well, you can find things like that. A lot of people have issues with joint pain because of diet drinks. So, crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Anybody else have anything?
Hey, it's Mira. I'm picking up Noah, so I can't put my picture on, but the video on. But I was gonna say, I know that my son Kate, he really likes this creamer, this coffee creamer. It's called Layered, and it's made with like, we got it at Whole Foods, and it's made with actually like 4 different types of mushrooms, and it's supposed to be really good for your gut health on top of stuff. And I think it's I know it's like vegan, he's vegetarian, so it's like vegetarian, but then they also and there's like no added sugars. I mean, I think they might use like a coconut sugar in some of their
Yeah.
things, but actually it tastes really good, and it's only like 20 calories for every tablespoon, so it's really not too bad compared to some of them.
What did you say the name of it was?
Layered. It's Laird. It's a superfood creamer.
Huh. We'll have to check
And
that out.
He really likes the vanilla, and last time we were there, they didn't have that one, so we got the original, and that one tasted really good. So
Very cool. A client of ours, he'll probably watch this, Jeff Yancey, uses a drink instead of coffee. He got away from coffee and he started drinking this drink called Mud. And it's he replaced it with coffee, and he said it's very, very good and very healthy for you. So I'm going to look into that and see exactly what is in that, but that might be something good to look into too. Coffee is not awful for you at all. It's the things that we put in coffee, and it's also the processing that makes coffee bad. Coffee is very, very processed. It's not the coffee bean that's bad for you, it's just the processing that's bad for us. So the least processed coffee that you can get, once again, we don't think about coffee, we're like, oh, it's coffee. But if you can get your own beans and get a grinder, oh my gosh, it'll smell like heaven in your house. And it would smell like complete heaven. And imagine what the coffee would taste like. Holy cow, I can't even imagine. So that might be one way to go. But so, these are not things that I say that we have to do. Once again, we've got to find our own balance in what works for us, guys. We don't want to become a group of, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this. Wade and I have tried that. That worked for a very short season. And then it was, holy crap, I need a Reese cup. Yeah. And it's funny because that kind of behavior usually leads to one extreme to the other. I would go from over here being extreme to completely going off the wagon. I remember I was getting ready for a competition one time, and man, I was on it. My coach had me on chicken every single day, white fish. I'd eat it cold, didn't matter, man. I was committed, weeks in, and I'm going, yeah, man. And then he goes, okay, let's do a reverse diet. And I was like, okay, well, you get more calories, he said, but it has to be really structured. Well, at that point, I was done with structure. I gained 20 pounds in about 6 to 8 weeks. So those really restricting things can cause you to actually rebound. You've got to find a good balance, you know? And if you start taking things out of your diet that maybe aren't so healthy, a little bit at a time, that's okay, because you kind of get used to that. But if you go, no sugar, no milk, no dairy, no cheese, no, it doesn't work for people. So we've all got to find our own balance. We're all responsible really for our own health. And that's what I want you to remember, that while there are things out there that are not good for us, we can't prevent that. There's always we're always going to find something that is not so great for us, right? This world is not perfect, but we just got to do our best with what we have and with where we are. And taking one step at a time is just fine. We don't have to be all or nothing. It could be one step at a time, moving towards a more healthy goal, step by step. And if that's what it is, I want you to celebrate yourself and not feel guilty, but I want you to be proud of yourself that you were taking control of your life and that you are making your life you're making a healthier version of yourself. Because we do have a lot of control over our health, much more than we actually probably even know. If we take charge of it, you know, it's so funny, we'll never know the diseases that didn't happen to us because we decided to lose the weight or we decided to eat better. We'll never know. And that's a good thing, right? Mm-hmm. And imagine those people who come on, and I love to see these kind of things too, where they come on and they're like, Allie, my blood pressure is down. I don't have to take my blood pressure meds anymore. I don't have to take metformin for diabetes anymore. My A1C's down. And I think that that's just great. But I would rather be, instead of reactive, I'd rather go ahead and take charge now and not have to go into a place where I am having high blood pressure, where I am having type 2 diabetes and having to maybe take insulin. So let's go ahead and prevent it. But if you're already there, let's go ahead and turn it around, right? Both are great. Well, I'm going to let you guys go. I'm definitely going to go and put on my really, really sloppy clothes and drink something hot. But I love you guys, and I'm so glad that you showed up to our meeting. Remember, these are every Tuesday night, and we're going to try to get the word out and get more people here. I hate having to tell everybody every Tuesday, send out a reminder, but hopefully everyone will start remembering. All right.
Hope you feel better.
Thank you, guys. We'll talk to you really soon.
Talk to you soon.
Thank you for doing this. You guys thank you.
Oh yeah, we're glad to. You guys, listen.
You're very welcome.
If you have not made a weekly coaching call, always make those, guys. You're entitled to them on those calls. We change your calories if we need to. We change things that are not working for you. And if things aren't working, then you need to let us know, because your success is our success. It's not our way or the highway at all. All right. We love you guys, and we'll talk to you soon.
See you
Bye.
later.
Bye.